You've been playing their game without even realizing it. Every wasted hour, every cheap dopamine hit, every excuse you let control you, all of it was engineered to keep you from becoming who you were meant to be. But something inside you has started to wake up. You feel it, don't you? That pull towards something greater. That fire inside you that refuses to die. That whisper in the back of your mind saying, "This can't be all there is." You're right. This is your wake-up call. This is the moment you either step up or stay asleep. These lessons will show you what they never wanted you to know. They will strip away the lies, expose the traps, and arm you with the mindset of those who refuse to be controlled. It won't be easy. It won't be comfortable. But it will be the only thing that sets you free. Are you ready to reclaim your power? Lesson 1 begins now. Lesson 1. The system doesn't want you disciplined. You were never meant to be free. Not truly. From the moment you opened your eyes, you were funneled into a machine designed to mold you. Not into a warrior, not into a creator, but into a consumer. A cog in a system that thrives on your weakness, profits from your distractions, and feeds off your obedience. The world doesn't want you disciplined. It wants you entertained. It doesn't want you strong. It wants you comfortable. It doesn't want you focused. It wants you hooked. Look around. Every flashing screen, every notification, every perfectly engineered convenience, it's all part of the trap. They don't sell food anymore. They sell addiction. They don't sell entertainment. They sell distraction. They don't offer financial freedom. They offer chains with longer leashes. And they wrap it all in shiny marketing, smiling influencers, and one-click dopamine fixes. Because they know the truth. A man who is disciplined is a man they cannot control. This is not just a bad habit problem. This is a war for your mind. The algorithms know your weaknesses better than you do. They know exactly how long to keep you scrolling, exactly when to show you that ad, exactly what will make you click. They steal your time in fragments, a video here, a notification there, until one day you wake up and realize you've spent years running in place. You aren't lazy. You're engineered to be. That quick-hit junk food, designed for addiction, that never-ending social media feed, designed for hypnosis, that debt, that easy credit, designed to keep you working, not winning. The system isn't broken. It works exactly as intended. And the more distracted, unhealthy, and indebted you are, the better it functions. But here's what they don't want you to know. You can break free, not by waiting, not by wishing, but by choosing. The moment you decide to wake up and see the cage for what it is, you become something dangerous. Because self-discipline, that's their greatest fear. A man who can say no to cheap dopamine, to fast pleasure, to the distractions fed to him, is a man they cannot sell to, cannot control, cannot break. A man who chooses self-discipline over comfort, that man becomes unstoppable. So ask yourself, how much longer will you let them own your attention? How many more hours will you give away to things that make you weaker? How much more of your life will you waste before you take it back? Because this isn't about motivation. This isn't about inspiration. This is about war. The system is counting on you to stay distracted, to stay soft, to stay hooked. Prove them wrong. Lesson 2. They profit from your weakness. They don't want you strong. They don't want you to wake up early, train your body, sharpen your mind, and move with purpose. Because a man who is disciplined is dangerous. And this world is designed to neutralize you before you ever become a threat. Think about it. Who profits if you're tired? Who benefits if you're out of shape? Who wins when you feel hopeless, distracted, and broke? The system is rigged against you, not by accident, but by design. Everywhere you turn, there's something designed to weaken you. The food? Poison disguised as convenience. The entertainment? Designed to keep you watching, not thinking. The debt? Keeps you running, never arriving. They don't sell products. They sell dependencies. They don't offer freedom. They offer illusions of choice. And if you aren't careful, you'll spend your whole life paying for your own enslavement. Because weak men are easier to control. A weak man doesn't question the system. A weak man doesn't challenge the rules. A weak man is too tired, too distracted, too addicted to fight back. And that's exactly how they want you. So how do you break free? Not by waiting for a miracle, not by blaming the system. You break free by becoming stronger than the forces designed to break you. Control your body, because when you're physically weak, your mind follows. Control your time, because every wasted second is a second they own. Control your desires, because if they can tempt you, they can trap you. Discipline isn't about punishment. It's about power. Because every time you choose discipline over comfort, you reclaim a piece of yourself. Every time you say no to the distractions designed to destroy you, you become a little more unstoppable. And that's what they fear most. So ask yourself right now, who is winning? The system that feeds off your weakness? Or you, the man who decides enough is enough? The choice is yours. Lesson 3. The war is won in the mind. You can have the strongest body, the sharpest skills, the best strategy, but if they own your mind, they own you. And that's where they attack first. Not with bullets, not with chains, not with force, but with ideas. The most powerful prison isn't built with steel bars. It's built with limiting beliefs. From the moment you were born, they whispered the same lies. You can't win, so you never try. You're not good enough, so you never push. It's too risky, so you never escape. They don't need to force you into submission. They just train you to submit on your own. And once your mind is weak, they don't have to take your freedom, because you'll hand it over willingly. But here's what they don't want you to realize. You are more powerful than you've been led to believe. Not because of luck, not because of privilege, but because your mind is the most dangerous weapon on this planet. The moment you reject their programming, the moment you realize you are not some helpless pawn, but the master of your own fate, you become untouchable. They can take your money, but if your mind is sharp, you'll make more. They can take your comfort, but if your spirit is strong, you'll thrive in the struggle. They can take everything from you, but they can never take your will unless you surrender it first. So how do you fight back? Guard your thoughts like a fortress. Everything you allow in, news, entertainment, conversations, either makes you stronger or makes you weaker. Question everything. If they're telling you something over and over, ask yourself, who benefits if I believe this? Stop feeding the distractions. Every time you scroll mindlessly, binge garbage, or avoid the hard work, you feed the machine that enslaves you. Discipline isn't just about what you do. It's about what you allow to shape your reality. Because once they can't break your mind, they can't break you. The turning point. So here's the choice. Continue living on autopilot, following the script they wrote for you, or wake up and take control. Most people will stay asleep. Most people will never break free. But you, if you've made it this far, something inside you is already rejecting the lie. You feel it. That pull towards something greater. That fire in your gut that refuses to die. That voice in the back of your mind whispering, you were meant for more. Listen to it. Because the war is won in the mind first. And once your mind is yours again, nothing, not their tricks, not their traps, not their system, can ever own you again. Lesson 4. The power of isolation. Why you must walk alone first. Discipline is lonely. That's what they don't tell you. When you decide to wake up, to break free, to take control of your life, you will walk alone. Not because you want to, not because you hate the world, but because the world does not understand discipline. They mock what they don't have. They fear what they can't control. They reject what reminds them of their own weakness. And when you step out of line, when you stop playing their game, they will try to pull you back in. They'll call you obsessed. They'll call you crazy. They'll call you selfish. But do you know what they're really saying? Your discipline reminds me of my own failures. The herd fears those who break away, because the crowd is comfortable in its mediocrity. The crowd loves distractions. The crowd follows without thinking. And when you choose to reject it, to step outside their little bubble of mindless consumption and wasted time, you expose their biggest fear, that they could have been more, but they chose not to be. So they laugh at your discipline. They try to tempt you back into their world. They try to make you feel guilty for choosing better. Ignore them, because greatness requires isolation. You do not grow in comfort. You do not evolve surrounded by weakness. You do not become unstoppable by staying with people who fear the grind. When you first start this path, it will feel empty. You will miss the distractions, the cheap validation, the easy dopamine. But this is where you forge yourself. In the silence, in the struggle, in the long, lonely hours when no one is watching. Because when the world is gone, the real battle begins. No applause, no likes, no shortcuts. Just you versus you. And if you can conquer yourself in that emptiness, if you can fight through the doubt, the boredom, the pain, you will emerge as something no one can break. Because the man who learns to walk alone becomes the one they follow. One day, you will return to the world, not as the same person who left, not as the weak, distracted version of yourself, not as another pawn in their game, but as a force of nature, a man who owes nothing to the system, a man who sees the world for what it truly is. And when they look at you, when they whisper, when they envy, when they ask, "How did you do it?" you will smile, because you walked the path they were too afraid to take. Lesson 5. Pain is the currency of power. They sold you a lie. They told you that pain is something to avoid, something to fear, something to run from. They told you that life should be easy, that happiness is the goal, that struggle is for the unlucky, for the ones who didn't get it right. And you believed them. So when life hit you, when the weight of responsibility, discipline, and reality came crashing down, you backed off. Because that's what they trained you to do. They never told you the truth. That pain is the price of power. Look at history. Look at every legend, every empire, every great mind that shaped the world. What do they all have in common? They suffered. They lost. They struggled. They walked through hell and came out the other side. Not as victims, but as warriors. Because pain is the forge. It either breaks you, or it builds you. It either weakens you, or it hardens you. It either kills you, or it rebirths you into something new. But in this world, they don't want you to go through the fire. They don't want you to get stronger. They want you soft, comfortable, and weak. Because a man who has never faced pain is a man they can control. Most people avoid pain. Most people quit at the first sign of struggle. Most people never go far enough to discover who they really are. That's why they don't win. But you were meant for more. If you're in pain right now, good. That means you're alive. If you're struggling, good. That means you're moving forward. If it feels like everything is against you, good. That means you're pushing past the limits they set for you. Because pain is not the enemy. Weakness is. And every time you endure, every time you refuse to quit, every time you stare your suffering in the face and keep going anyway, you strip away another layer of the man you used to be. You become harder. You become smarter. You become the kind of man they cannot break. So here's the question. What will you do with your pain? Will you run? Will you numb yourself like the rest of them? Will you hide in distractions, addictions, and excuses? Or will you use it? Because in the end, the strongest men, the ones who build empires, the ones who carve their names into history, the ones who refuse to be forgotten, they are the ones who made pain their ally. They didn't wait for motivation. They didn't beg for inspiration. They bled, they suffered, and they endured. And because of that, they won. So what about you? You feel the fire? You feel the struggle? Good. Now prove you can survive it. To the returning GrimFace warriors, you already know what this is about. You've seen through the lies, rejected the distractions, and chosen the harder path. You are the few who refuse to be controlled. Keep pushing, keep sharpening, and keep proving them wrong. And to those new, to the movement, welcome to the other side. This isn't just motivation. This isn't just another speech. This is war. And if something inside you is waking up, if you feel that fire burning, it means you were meant for more. Subscribe now and join the fastest growing movement built for those who refuse to stay weak. Because we are just getting started. And if you're ready to go beyond YouTube, to stay connected with the GrimFace community, visit grimfaceofficial.com. That's where we keep the real ones close, where we build, where we plan, where we move. This world was never meant for the strong, but that's exactly why we're here. We are GrimFace.